Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 3 of FTB Interactions, where I die a lot. Today I want to go check out the overworld, which we built the portal to. The portal has only murdered us once so far, and hopefully find a place to live. I'm thinking, ooh, that was a quick teleport. Oh, is it just becoming nighttime? I don't want it to be just becoming nighttime. No, it looks good. Alright, so anyways, I want to find a place to live that is safe, so likely that means living over water. Is there a way I can waypoint this? I've never used this minimap mod before, so I guess I have to check its hotkeys. Ah, found it. I also hear a mob. What? Don't kill me, please. As I thought. Stand there and take it. Die. I've killed a zombie. Alright, anyways, I want the axe. Definitely want the beehives. The hotkey is B. So, what is a lot of buttons? I don't know what they do, so I'm just going to accept it. I'm not sure if I can move the portal, but where it is fine for now. So I'm looking for probably an ocean to live in. If I can, live over the ocean, I can more easily control how mobs can come at me. But otherwise, I'm just going to run around a bit. I'm also going to look for flowers that denote ore veins. So like here, these flowers are African lilies. So if I pick one up, the quest book will tell me what's under here. So under an African lily is an apatite vein. I don't need this for now, so I'll leave it alone. But yeah, when you're out exploring, keep an eye out for these flowers because they denote what type of plants could be under there. Under Asian copper leaf, we have copper. Makes a lot of sense to me. I'll bookmark it. Come back later. Well, it's nighttime now, and that sucks. You can see there's mobs everywhere. I assume the red dots are mobs. Look, a zombie. And I'm just going to try to stick to the water, because hopefully that'll result in me getting killed a little bit less. Found this spot here. It's not an ocean, but it might even be better than one. So the biome is technically river, and I think if I go back a little bit, it changes to like forest or jungle or something like that. Here we go. Nope, that's still river. But anyways, my point is, because this isn't actually an ocean, I'm surrounded by land on all sides. So when I go exploring, I have like all the different directions to choose from. We're about 500 meters from the portal, so I'm going to see if I can move my portal. I might have to move it on the void side, I suspect, to match it with the overworld side. So I have a problem. The stupid bind together mod, which is, I'm not gonna have this rant. Not worth it. The stupid mod though, I can't log into my world. Every time I log in, it crashes my world on either immediately or on my first input, no matter what key it is. So I'm going to probably have to rip the mod out. It has literally zero gameplay implication. The mod is likely included because I'm pretty sure it's one of those paid mods where you get paid to include. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I just had a rant to log in. No, let's press a key. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Thanks, Bind Together. I really like crashing on my third episode. And I basically out before I get angry. I'm so going to die here. There's so many zombies, and this one has thorns. Why does he have thorns? I can't kill him if he has thorns. And there's even one standing in my portal. Goodbye, friends. I was going to test out if I can use these ender portals interdimensionally, or these simple portals. I mean, I guess I can still test that. What is it? You get on it and crouch? No, it does not look like you can use these interdimensionally. Because I had this linked to, I had it linked to my void world. Alright, well, anyways, my plan is to use, I guess, I changed my mind a bit, but to use these portals to teleport between the overworld, between my portal here at the overworld and that water spot where I got killed by thorns, where I'm trying to make my base. Let's let them just burn to death, shall we? That one has a helmet. He's not even going to burn to death. Why does everything in this game hate me so much? Oh, look, I got my head again. And that's all with thorns too, isn't it? Haha, revenge. Ooh, now I have a helmet. Who's the best? Aha, I have a base in the overworld now. So if I link my two teleporters more or less to each other, you don't have to link them to teleporters, you link them to locations. But by doing this, we can now teleport between the two of them. So I can teleport over, head to my void world, grab stuff, and move it over. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll start by taking my transmutation table and building out a slightly larger platform there. Building over water is remarkably similar to building over the void, except, falls are a little bit less dramatic. So I'm going to use the type of base anyways that typically build in Skyblocks. So these are chunk aligned and 7x7 sub chunks. 2 7x7 sub chunks in each chunk. And then this thing, I guess, can be tiled. One full chunk here is actually, it's a 17x17, but they can share borders with each other. So they're effectively 16x16, which is the size of a chunk. It can be tiled indefinitely, and it can be lit up with torches only on the borders. So you have the entire inner area to build working things. And the fact that it's chunk aligned means that anything that you build within one of these sub-chunks will never cross a chunk border, which GregTech machines tend to dislike crossing chunk borders. So for now, I'm probably only going to build like 4 of these because I don't have an infinite supply of torches, and then I'll light them up and we can begin moving our entire Void World base over to the Overworld. I may have made a mistake building my platform out this big before I had enough torches to light up the whole thing. If I turn on the light level overlay, there's a lot of yellow X's here. If I stand near the middle, mobs can't spawn because I'm physically blocking them, but then I can't do anything all night. I do get a new shiny pair of shoes though. I just learned something. The vein miner in this packet doesn't respect the differences between different types of cobblestone. So this wasn't a creeper blast, although I suppose it looks a lot like one. I was trying to dig up one of these micro quadrants so that I could fill it with dirt instead, because I wanted to put my tree farm there. But apparently it decided to rip up the border along with it. So I guess, good thing I learned the lesson now with a limited damage, instead of accidentally vein mining my whole base 3-4 episodes down the line. Now that we've begun moving into the overworld, let's see about improving our infrastructure. So right now, to cook items, we cook them in the kilns by placing them in there, waiting, 10-15 seconds, and then taking them out. You could use hoppers to extract from these, but hoppers extract from the bottom, and well, there's a fire on the bottom. So that's not going to work, at least not as is. However, what we can do is we can use conveyors for this. So conveyor belts, they can't extract without the upgrade, but the quest here gives us at least one extractor. I don't see a recipe for it, but I don't know if it's just we can't make more after. Oh no, here's a recipe. We can make them. So yeah, we can extract from our conveyors, or from our kilns automatically. That way I don't have to come here and click them over and over again. Another thing we can do is take a look at our map. There's a village here, and zooming in, this building looks a lot like a blacksmith. So why don't we go raid that too and see if we can grab a furnace off of it. Yeah, I'm healthy enough. Let's go. Wish me luck. Ooh, a bed. These don't work, do they? When I click it, it says you can only sleep at night. But I'm going to take it with me, and we'll try it when it comes nighttime. Unfortunately, that thing that I thought was a blacksmith is a building right in front of me here. It is quite clearly not a blacksmith. Oh well. I was able to rip up all their farms, get a bunch of seeds and plants and stuff, which will be useful. But because they can't trade with you, you can't, sell them stuff for emeralds. But I also managed to snap a few emerald nuggets. All in all, I'd say a worthwhile trip. I'm going to take another quick look around, make sure I didn't miss anything like extra bookshelves. I managed to nab 27 books, which is also a pretty good deal, I think. By using those extraction upgrades to pull the items out the side of the clay kiln, we can now automate this. So if I just toss input items in here, I only had enough materials to make 3 upgrades, so we'll only do our first 3 kilns for now. We're still manually, putting items into the input, whatever. It's not load balanced, but that's fine. When they finish crafting, which will take about another 5-10 seconds, they should automatically get spit out onto the conveyor belt, moved over to the dropping upgrade, which puts them in a chest. Ah, look at that, how fancy. Cool. So now if I, need to make a lot of glass, which I will, so I may as well queue this up now. I can just throw a stack of sand into each of these, and you know, it'll take it a while. These things are slow, but it beats having to sit there and empty them out every couple seconds, right? As I move my components over and set them up over here, I'm also making them a bit more compact. So like our water saw, this is not spinning, which probably means it's set up backwards, isn't it? That's gonna... Okay, it didn't cause water to spill everywhere. I was about to say, I think if I update this water source block, it starts flowing the other way, which is not what I want. Anyways, the saw doesn't go that way. I guess it goes the other way. Also, there's a block of glass on top of the chest now, so it doesn't leak water and you can access it. Wow, what a concept. What am I doing wrong? Why isn't it turning? If I put items in there, it doesn't cut it, right? Yeah, that's entirely the wrong way. I went and reread the quest. The water source goes under. There we go, not over. So now if I toss my wood in here, our saw's back up and running. I don't need this block, do I? Actually, I don't need a lot of these anymore because the water source is one level lower. Make it a bit cleaner. Cool. Again, I'm going to continue moving systems over. I guess our sieves are probably next. I ended up having to put all the filler blocks back in because the saw yeets blocks in every which direction when it's done cutting them. So you see that, like, if this block wasn't here, it would have launched it past the water. So it basically has to be fully enclosed. But all you really need access to is the input hopper and the output chest anyways. Besides that, it's a great big cobblestone block. Another thing I've been doing while moving everything else around is slowly breeding our chickens. Each time they breed, you know, the new chicken is guaranteed to have better stats than both parents. So this is almost guaranteed to be a 10-10-10. The strength could technically be a 9. But it is a 10-10-10. Cool. So put this here. And then the next cycle will also be 10-10-10. And then I can start breeding them together. By having 10 chickens, or by having, like, the more chickens you have per stack, the faster this process goes. But it's not terribly slow, so let's just hang out for a second so that we can throw these 5 out and then start producing perfect chickens. Once we have these, apparently we can cook them. But what I want to do is make our... Well, I guess I don't even really need the porcelain chicken anymore because I don't need much porcelain, do I? Oh, maybe I will. I don't know. Could still be useful, I guess. For our strainers, it looks very similar, whoopsies, from on top. But if you look underneath it, there's a bunch of hoppers. All it does is it collects the items down into a series of double chests. That way, we don't have to worry about like an individual strainer filling up. However, because this system takes up a bit more room and I wanted to fit it in one quadrant, it only has room for 2 strainers per type. But that should be fine because it's automated. Then what I can do is I can add some hoppers, which I appear to be out of, to automatically replace the strainer when it, you know, wears out. We can do something similar with hoppers for our drying racks. Don't judge me that one of them is made of a different material. Wait, is it item rack, not a drying rack? Probably isn't, is it? That probably won't actually work. Alright, you can judge me then. Yeah, for decoration purposes only. Alright, I'll fix that later. But what you can do is, you know, just use hoppers to put items into them, hoppers to take items out. They won't give their item to the output hopper until they're done drying. So voila, batch automation. You still have to manually distribute your inputs between these, but we'll come up with a better solution for that later. As nighttime draws near, let's remember to test our bed. It's over here on the off chance it explodes like it does in the nether. Because, you know what, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if it did so in this pack. I guess it just sets their spawn point, doesn't do anything else, huh? Alright, well, I'm not terribly surprised that didn't let me get through the night. I heard that was, you know, a very late game thing. Back. Now that we have a reasonably large number of chickens, they actually breed extremely quickly. Like, this progress bar moves very fast. Let's try running one of them in the roost and see. I think you can also put up to 16 of them in each roost slot, so let's grab a handful more. Yeah, and it makes it faster. But let's see what our produce is. I think the smart chicken doesn't produce anything. I mean, it just produces eggs. Yeah. But later we can make chickens that, you know, ooh, not only, wait. Oh no, I think each chicken produces 3 because they have strength 10. But I mean, this is a very good continuous source of eggs. Not that I have anything to do with them. I noticed there's a few new quests in here, and one of them is actually very interesting. Candles. I guess I should be using candles instead of torches because they're much cheaper. Right? We have a candleberry farm. Well, we had a candleberry farm, but I think we still have plenty of leftover candleberries, and we can make a very easy string farm. I should organize this, shouldn't I? They're somewhere. They're probably still in the void world. Thanks to these cheap candles, we can now light up the few places at our base that are now unlit because, you know, building up. So, one more scan for yellow X's and then we can light them all up. Aha, one mob-free base coming right up. Next thing then, I think, is to move all of our farms over, but there's a couple things here that have caught my eye. So first of all, this quest was here before. That wheat, we have to craft one of each of these things, which is really just make a lot of low covalence dust to make a bunch of these apples, because each one is an apple plus a sapling of some sort. We can craft them and then plant plant bulb them, but by making all 6 of them, we get sprinklers. So cyclic sprinklers just give a significant amount of crop acceleration. And do they have a crafting recipe? They do, but they're not available quite yet. We have to be low voltage tier before we can get them. So, just, you know, we'll have the one sprinkler from that quest reward. And this quest, what's the buzz about, tells us to make apiaries, which are very simple. And that's why I've been grabbing all the bees I see, because bees accelerate crops nearby as well. So, if you know me, I love my crop acceleration. That might be just about, well, those and worms might be just about all the crop acceleration we have for now. But, it beats having to wait for crops to grow at vanilla speeds, right? Here come the last of these 6 different gardens. So when you break them, you get a variety of foods. Generally, it's a pretty good deal, but you only get, you can only break them once. So it's a good idea to plant ball it a bunch of times. That's probably enough. Break them all. Can you invade mine? You can. And I should probably set up a couple chests somewhere just to hold these, at least temporarily. We'll put it here. And yeah, this is a good way to get, your initial collection of Pam's foods, at least. It won't, I don't think, maybe every Pam's crop is in a garden's loot table somewhere. I'm not actually 100% sure about that. But lots of food anyways. With Spice of Life in the pack where, you get different, like food has diminishing value if you eat the same thing over and over again. It's good to have variety. The Arid Garden appears to not be plantable on dirt. I suspect it goes on sand. Oh, would you look at that? And I guess it drops like cactus-y things. Alright, so now that we have our initial selection of foods to choose from, we can grow any of these into, we can turn any of these plants into their respective seeds when we want to use them for food, or we want to use them for farming, rather. So this may or may not be every single plant in the game, but it's sure, or every single Pam's Harvest Craft plant at least, but at the very least it's close. More excitingly though, we get our sprinkler. Another quest that caught my eye before we set up our farm will be this rain shield, because it's always raining in my experience and it's really loud and annoying. There may be useful uses for rain down the line, if so I'll just get rid of it. So we need cloud, which is wool. Can I make wool out of string, or do I need a real sheep for this? Let's see. I can not make wool out of string. So I guess I need to go find a real sheep. Okay. Before I go on this journey to look for sheep, I move my mini-map to something that's a bit more what I'm used to. There's a hotkey that makes it zoom as well. I forget what I set it as. M? No, M is big map. There we go. So I can hit for me it's numpad 1. but it'll temporarily make the map bigger, so I don't need to always have a giant mini map up. Also, I start to display things like the coordinates, biome, etc. in there, so I don't need to pull up the F3 menu quite as often. You'll notice I pulled some water from here before I realized we're in the Jungle Hills biome, so we don't get infinite water. So I stopped doing that. Anyways, let's go look for a sheep. I saw plains around here somewhere. I think it's this way. Whoopsies, that's get out, not accelerate. Not just a plains, a rare sunflower plains. These cows look interesting. I also changed some of the colors of the dots by mini-map. I think previously yellow dots were hostile and red dots were items, but it's like, I mean, red is bad, right? And yellow is like warning. So yellow dots are neutral now, and red dots are hostile. I'm starting to like this mini-map mod. It's very customizable to your needs. I mean, I guess so is Journey Map. But anyways, I'm going to harvest some wool here. At some point, I'll set up a passive spawning platform on our base, but until we get there, this will be our wool source. Because our base is built pretty far from land, I think a conventional skybox style mob spawner will be reasonably effective. No doubt there will be caves underground, which will reduce its efficiency until I get around to lighting them up, when and if I ever do that. But I mean, just the fact that, even a low efficiency, like dark room mob spawner is good, right? Cambridge blue, I wonder what's under that. Cambridge blue diamond, ooh. We're gonna mark that for later. I suspect I don't have the tools to mine it yet. Anyways, let's go back home. So, time for that rain shield. Work in progress. Of course, now that I'm ready to make it, the rain stop, but it'll be handy to have for next time. Not exactly sure how it works. I think the quest does have a brief description, right? Food. Alright, what does it say? Random thing will prevent rain in a 5-chunk area forever. So I guess I should place it reasonably centered. Which way will my base grow? Probably this way. I'll put it over in this corner for now then, because 5 chunks is enough to get all the way to the other corner. Cool. So now we won't be rained on while in our base. Well, I hate to say it, but I am out of time to record for today. So in interest of not delaying the episode, why don't we'll just have a shorter episode today. I think it beats having none at all, right? So yeah, this was our base building episode for the series. For those of you that expected a base with like walls and buildings, I guess you'll have to be sorely disappointed again. I think you've probably caught on by now that I don't build walls and buildings unless absolutely necessary. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.